Good evening. Welcome to this latest edition of Doorway to the Paintings. This is another one that's really near and dear to me. I really like it. It's one of my oldest paintings, and it's almost 100% Impressionism. I really like this one. It has a lot of character, I think, and style. It might not be everybody's cup of tea. It might not be for everybody, but it's one of my favorites. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Yeah, this painting is a good example of, on one hand, when you paint a painting that is different from this and it's just focused on reality, in that case, you're focusing on putting reality on the canvas. But with this painting here, this is where you put the creativity, the imagination, and the emotions on the canvas. So this painting here is like directly interpreting the whether it's fear or excitement or mystery or whatever the emotion is, you're translating that onto the canvas rather than reality. And this sure provokes a lot of imagination and thoughts in my mind. In the distance, you have people inside those structures over there, or temples. One of my favorite paintings. To me, it just stimulates the imagination. You got that mountain in the distance. You have a really, really bright sky with enough clouds so the sun looks blurred at sunset. The mountains don't look super real. They don't look very real, but it gives it a lot of style, a lot of character. Reminds me of some of the older art that I've seen when I was a kid. Just one of my favorite paintings. Some people are going to get it, some people won't, but it's the style. It's just the style of it. Got this character here. Got this character here who obviously doesn't look real, but he represents a certain type of reality, or he represents the past, something gone by. Almost looks ghostly, almost like a ghostly figure, and the other characters as well. Got these characters back here. Yeah, they're either really there or maybe they're phantoms of the past. Ancient Greece and Greek myth and Roman myth and culture, ancient Greek culture, ancient Roman culture played heavily on the inspirations behind this painting. And look way back there. You got structures way back in the background, which gives this painting more depth and more charm. It gives it so much more. It gives it that extra, that something extra that really puts it over for me. It's that character again. This character looks similar but different. Got these structures and then people. Something's going on in that water. Something's being stirred in the water. That really adds a good element to it, I think. There's other paintings that I've done like this that actually have sea creatures in it. Yeah, look at that sunset. And you can see how the outline of the mountain fades as it goes closer to the sunset. And another structure. Got this misty type sun. Yeah, I had to make a video of this painting. It's got so much charm to me. A lot of people might not like it, but then there's a lot of people who are like me who will. But I understand both sides, because some people are looking for more realism and a different type, but this really is charming to me. I like it. Just looking at that mountain again, almost looks like a mouth open. But I never planned that way. But often in my paintings, I'll put faces in the mountains. You'll probably see that maybe in some of the other videos, if I make videos about those paintings. That water goes all the way down there. I imagine it probably goes all the way down and then maybe takes a turn and then keeps going all the way to the sunset. Yeah, I mean, this is one of my older paintings. It's not the oldest, but when I started painting again, it was one of the first ones I painted when I started painting again. I painted a long, long time ago, like nature. Pretty much all I did was nature, and then I did characters too, but nature first. I've never noticed this before, ever. It almost looks like somebody sleeping. Here's an eye closed. I've really never noticed this before. It's an accident. There's one eye closed. Here's another eye, and then the nose, and then the mouth. Like a mouth, and then an eye closed. That's an accident. I've never noticed that before. And some of my paintings, they accidentally have faces, but often I'll do it on purpose, put faces in the mountains. I haven't done one of those for a long time, though. Must have been this painting, I must have did it maybe 10 years ago, 12 years ago, maybe longer. I honestly can't remember exactly when. Even the birds are looking at you. Look at those eyes. But yeah, it reminds me of ancient Greece. I think of Plato and Socrates, and I know I read Plato's Republic. I mentioned that before. I read the whole thing pretty much. I think I read the whole thing, but I've read certain parts over and over and over again. That was an inspiration, but even before I ever read that, I was inspired by Clash of the Titans when I was a kid. That movie, Clash of the Titans, with Laurence Olivier, and a lot of good actors in there. Burgess Meredith was in there. Pat Roach is always a really good actor. He was Hephaestus. I think that was. Gosh, I seen that movie when I was a kid. Really a good movie. Pat Roach, I really liked him. He was the wizard. He was the wizard in Conan the Destroyer that lived in the ice castle, and he had the red cape. I thought that was the best sequence of the whole movie, actually. I wish that would have been drawn out more, and they would have spent more time with that character and in that castle, even though they did spend a good amount of time in it. Anyway, back to the painting. Yeah, and it's got depth, like I mentioned earlier. You go way back. I have a lot of paintings like this where I put stuff in the background where it kind of stimulates the thought of what's back there, stimulates the imagination, what's beyond. I really like how things fade into the sunset, like the sides of the mountains. This has a lot of charm for me. I can just hang this up anywhere and look at it and admire this painting. it's one of those paintings that kind of grow on you. You know, when you look at it at first, it might not seem like much, and then later you start to like it. I've thought about that myself, but also it could be too with certain types of people. They see it and they, like myself, when I first thought about it and painted it, I just liked it right away. But I could see how it can grow on a person too. Yeah, I enjoyed it so much that I painted others like it. I even put, like I mentioned earlier, a couple sea creatures in the water. Give the full range, the full view here. Pretty much the full view. I hope you like looking at this painting, guys. I sure did. If you like this video, consider subscribing and hitting that like button. And I'll see you again next time. Good night.